Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Today we will learn about possessive pronoun his and his. So if you do not understand the difference between his and his, please welcome to my lesson today so we can solve the problem. Okay. អរុនសួស្តីបងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាសុខសប្បាយជាទេថ្ងៃនេះយើងវិលមកជួបគ្នាសារជាថ្មីយើងសិក្សាអំពីសាមីសព្វនាមរបស់គាត់និងរបស់គាត់តើសាមីសព្វនាមរបស់គាត់និងរបស់គាត់ខុសគ្នារបៀបណាបើបងប្អូនពុំទាន់យល់ភាពខុសគ្នារវាង his និង hisសូមស្វាគមន៍ចូលរួមសិក្សាជាមួយខ្ញុំដើម្បីយើងពិភាក្សាដោះស្រាយនៅការចម្ងល់ទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទអូខេ let's go to our lesson. Okay, let's start our lesson. Number 1. His is a pronoun that show ownership. It may come in front of a noun or alone. I read it again. Number 1. His is a pronoun that show ownership. It may come in front of a noun or alone. Okay, this is rule number 1. His, a pronoun that show ownership. It always come in front of a noun. Okay, friends? Let's go to the next page for translation. លេខ1 his ជាសាមីសព្វនាមដែលបង្ហាញពីម្ចាស់វាអាចមកប្រើនៅខាងនាមសព្ទឬអាចប្រើដោយមិនហត់មាននាមសព្ទបានអូខេបងប្អូនពាក្យថា his ជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសហ្នឹងយើងបកថាសាមីវាមុខងាររបស់វាជាសាមីសព្វនាមដែលជាម្ចាស់អូខេបង្ហាញជាម្ចាស់ហើយពាក្យ his មួយហ្នឹងយើងប្រើនៅមុខនាមសព្ទជានិច្ចហើយវាអាចប្រើមិនដោយមាននាមសព្ទផងដែរនឹងនៅច្បាប់ទី2នេះច្បាប់ទី1ក្បួនទី1ក្បួនទី2យើងទៅទំព័របន្ទាប់ let's go to the next page together. Number 2. His, which belongs to him, used without a following noun as a pronoun equivalent to the adjective his. Again, number 2. His, which belongs to him, used without a following noun as a pronoun equivalent to the adjective his. Okay, people, friends, this word his, it belongs to him. We use it without a noun after it, and it's equivalent to the adjective his. It's used as a pronoun, and the function of it equivalent to adjective. Okay? So we will look at the example and I will explain it how we use his and his. What is the difference between his and his? Let's go to the next page for the translation. Lay B.ពាក្យ his ជាកម្មសិទ្ធិរបស់ him បានគេប្រើដោយមិនមាននាមសព្ទពីខាងក្រោយដោយសព្វនាមទេហើយមានអត្ថន័យស្មើនឹងគុណនាម his អូខេបងប្អូនម្ដងទៀតពាក្យថា his ជាកម្មសិទ្ធិរបស់ him បានគេប្រើដោយមិនមាននាមសព្ទពីខាងក្រោយដោយសព្វនាមទេ ហើយមានអត្ថន័យស្មើនឹងគុណនាម his អូខេតើវាមានខុសប្លែកគ្នាយ៉ាងណានៅក្នុងភាសាគេនឹងពាក្យថា his and his យើងចូលទៅមើលឧទាហរណ៍ដើម្បីនឹងខ្ញុំស្រាយបញ្យលឲ្យបានយល់ទាំងអស់គ្នាតើយើងប្រើវារបៀបណា Okay, let's go to the next page. Examples. Examples. Okay, every examples I give you two. Rule number 1 and rule number 2. នឹងក្នុងឧទាហរណ៍ភាសាខ្ញុំឲ្យជាឧទាហរណ៍2ឧទាហរណ៍ទី1ទៅតកតងនឹងច្បាប់ទី1ឧទាហរណ៍ទី2តកតងនឹងទៅច្បាប់ទី2ដូច្នេះសូមបងប្អូនចូលរួមតាមដានសង្កេតដើម្បីយកការយល់ដើម្បីយើងប្រើភាសាគេឲ្យបានត្រឹមត្រូវបាទ Let's look at number 1. I like his coat. I like his coat. I like his coat. Okay, look at the word coat. Coat is a noun. His used before a noun. Rule number 1 said his used before a noun. So coat is a noun and his is used before a noun. So sentence 1. So you have to use his that stand or used before a noun. Okay? So that's how we build a sentence on number 1. Rule 1 said his used in front of a noun. So I like his coat. Coat is a noun. His is used in front of a noun. Okay បងប្អូនលេខ1យើងមើលថា I like his coat យើងមើលពាក្យថា his នឹងជាសាមីសព្វនាមសាមីសព្វនាមដែលឈរនៅខាងមុខនាម coat នោះជានាមដូច្នេះ his នឹងជាសាមីសព្វនាមសាមីសព្វនាមបាទដូច្នេះសាមីសព្វនាមឈរនៅខាងមុខសព្វនាមសព្វបាទនាមសព្វ coat នឹងជានាមសព្វឬយើងហៅថានាមវាស្រួលជាងកុំឲ្យច្រឡំអាសព្វសព្វនឹងច្រើនពេកវាឲ្យច្រឡំបាទយើងប្រើថានាមនឹងអា his នឹងវាឈរនៅខាងមុខនាមខ្ញុំចូលចិត្តអាវធំរបស់គាត់បាទ Number 2 This bike is his This bike is his Okay his it stand alone it use alone it doesn't have to use in front of a noun That's rule number 2. So you look at the word his on line 2. It doesn't stand or use before a noun. But actually, his has a possessive pronoun plus a noun in there. It doesn't show, but it's in there. So the rule number 2 said you use his alone. You don't need to use his in front of a noun. Okay? Okay បងប្អូនលេខ2 This bike is his នេះជាកង់របស់គាត់ពាក្យថា his ទី2ច្បាប់គេ rule គេច្បាប់គេថាយើងប្រើ his តែឯងមិនបាច់ចាំមាននាមពីក្រោយទេដូច្នេះ his នឹងវាមាននាមនៅក្នុងនឹងស្រាប់ហើយសាមីសព្វនាមបូកនឹងនាមនៅក្នុងនោះស្រេចហើយគ្រាន់តែវាមិនបង្ហាញបញ្ចេញឲ្យយើងឃើញតែពាក្យនោះវានៅក្នុងនោះហើយដូចជាពាក្យថាដូចជាប្រយោគនេះឯង This bike is his it mean this bike is his bike okay his bike is already in there but it doesn't show up to that you can actually see it but it's in there let's go to the next page example 1 and 2 so 1 is for rule number 1 and number 2 is rule for number 2 so example number 1 where is his horse where is his horse where is his horseសេះរបស់គាត់នៅឯណា where is his horse look at the word his possessive pronoun that used in front of a noun so the word horse underline That is a noun. So his is used in front of a noun. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2. His, you don't need to use in front of a noun. You can use it alone. So line 2, the horse is his. The horse is his. So the horse is, I'm sorry, not the horse, the house, I'm sorry. The house is his. Mean, the house is his house. That's all it means. The house is his house. His has a possessive pronoun in there plus a noun. So it doesn't show up. Actually, it's in there. Okay? The house is his mean the house is his house. Okay? So his stand alone by itself. It equivalent to adjectives. That means his house. His is adjective modify the house. His house. Who house? His house. Okay, so it equivalent to adjective his on the top. Like his horse. It means like his is adjective, it's possessive pronoun, and it is an adjective function modify a horse. Okay, his horse. Who horse is it? His horse. So the rule number 2, his is equivalent to the adjective of his. It's the same thing. It's just used different way. It's the same word, spelled the same exactly, but we use it a little different. Okay, let's go to the next page. Examples. 1. His teacher is looking for him. His teacher is looking for him. Number 1 again, I read 3 times in each sentence. His teacher is looking for him. Look at the word teacher. Teacher is a noun. So his is possessive pronoun. The function of it is an adjective. Okay, his teacher. His teacher. His always used in front of a noun. So that's rule number 1. And example number 1, his teacher. Teacher is a noun. His is a possessive pronoun. Possessive pronoun and function is an adjective. Modify the teacher. Okay? Okay បងប្អូនពាក្យប្រយុទ្ធទី1ហ្នឹង his គឺច្បាប់ទី1ថា his សាមីសព្វនាមហ្នឹងយើងប្រើនៅខាងមុខនាមចូល teacher ហ្នឹង function របស់ teacher ជា noun ជានាមដូច្នេះ his ហ្នឹងជាសាមីសព្វនាមចូលនៅខាងមុខនាមកាលណាយើងប្រើយើងដាក់វានៅខាងមុខនាមអូខេលោកគ្រូរបស់គាត់កំពុងរកគាត់បាទកំពុងរក is looking for ហ្នឹងកំពុងរកបាទ Number 2 that candies are his. That candies are his. That candy are his mean that candies are his candies. Okay? So his is used by itself. Rule number 2, his is used by itself. But actually, the possessive pronoun his plus candies in there. It doesn't show up to show you, but actually it is in there. Okay? ស្ករគ្រាប់ទាំងនោះជាស្ករគ្រាប់របស់គាត់អូខេបងប្អូនការផ្លែកខុសគ្នារវាង his ខាងលើយើងប្រើជាមួយប្រើពីមុខនាមhis ទី2យើងប្រើ by itself okay friend rule number 1 his we use in front of a noun like number example number 1 rule number 2 his used alone without the following noun so on line 2 that candies are his so his is stand alone by itself but actually it means the possessive pronoun plus a noun in there it doesn't show up but it's in there okay that's how it's different between the two his and his are different. That's how we're using it. The one used with the noun following, the one used without a noun following. Okay, let's go to the next page, please. Example. His parents are angry. His parents are angry. His parents are angry. Okay? So parents mean father and mother because the parent got the S at the end. Parents. Gonna have S at the end. There's two persons, their parents, mother and father. Okay? Rule number 1 said his always used in front of a noun. So look at the word his is possessive pronoun, parent is a noun. So it is correct right there. Noun is after the word his and his in front of a noun. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, his used by itself without a following noun. Okay? Look at number 2. Don't drink that milk. It's his. Don't drink that milk. It's his. Don't drink that milk. It's his. So that sentence means don't drink that milk. It's his milk. Okay? So his stand by itself, used by itself, used alone, but actually the possessive pronoun his plus a noun in there, it just didn't show up so you can see it, but it's in there. Okay? Okay, បងប្អូន let's translate it. Number 1 ឪពុកម្ដាយរបស់គាត់ខឹង angry បកថាខឹងឪពុកម្ដាយហ្នឹងគឺ parents. Okay? Number 2 don't drink that milk, it's his. So don't កុំ drink ផឹក that milk ទឹកដោះគោនោះវាជារបស់គាត់ទេ it's his. Okay? So his ពាក្យ his ហ្នឹងគឺវាប្រើតែឯងតែធម្មតាវាមានសាមីសព្វនាមបុកនឹងនាមនៅក្នុងនោះស្រេចទៅហើយគ្រាន់តែវាមិនបង្ហាញមកយើងដូច្នេះការភាពខុសគ្នារវាងពាក្យថា his ហើយនឹង his គឺ rule ទី1និង rule ទី2គឺខុសគ្នារបៀបនេះឯងមួយប្រើជាមួយនាមមួយប្រើមិនបាច់នាម Okay friends, the difference between his and his, one used with the noun following and one used without a noun following. That's all it different. That's all it show the different how to use it. Okay, let's go to the next page. Examples. Examples. 1. The boy ran to his mother. The boy ran to his mother. Okay? The boy ran to his mother. Look at the word mother. Mother is a noun. Function of mother is a noun. His is a possessive pronoun. Okay? So, rule number 1 said his used in front of a noun. Rule number 1. So mother is a noun. His is possessive pronoun. So rule number 1 is applied to number 1. The boy ran to his mother. Okay? Rule number 2 said his can use by itself. Use alone. Look at the example number 2. That name is his. That name is his. So that name is his mean that name is his name. Okay? So his, it has possessive pronoun plus a noun in there. But it just didn't show you to see it, but it's actually, it writes in there. Okay? So that's how it's different this between this to his and his. That's how it's different. You use with the following noun, rule number 1, and rule number 2, use without the following noun. That's the difference. So you have to remember how to use it. Rule number 1, rule number 2, that's how it's different. That's how we're using it. So let's go to the next page. See more example. Oh no. This page is the last page. We have finished today. Listen. I'll be back next week with a short review lesson, which we had learned You all have a good one. I'll see you then. But wait, look at the word learned. Learned. We have two pronunciation in American English. Learned, or you can say learned. But in Britain's English, they spell with Learnt. So they read learnt. It shows you exactly, but in American English we write ed, but we pronounce d or we pronounce t. It's both correct, but we have two pronunciation, learned or learnt. But Britain English we spell with the t and we pronounce t. I'm sorry, learnt. Okay. បងប្អូនថ្ងៃនេះមេរៀនយើងបានបញ្ចប់ហើយសូមបងប្អូនបានសេចក្តីសុខសប្បាយទាំងអស់គ្នាខ្ញុំនឹងវិលមកជួបបងប្អូនសាជាថ្មីនៅអាទិត្យក្រោយដោយពំនាំយកមេរៀនសារឡើងវិញខ្លីៗដើម្បីបញ្យល់បញ្ជាក់យើងទាំងបងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាមុនយើងទៅកាន់មេរៀនថ្មីទៀត Okay friend I will see you next week with a short review and before we go to the new lesson okay we just bring a little bit of short review so we can understand to clear it out before we step forward. Okay, I will see you next week. You have a good one. Everyone take care of yourself. I will see you then. Bye.